Welcome to the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott Nerney. We are remote today at the Community Libraries of Providence. Don't forget, while you're watching this, click share, subscribe, forward to somebody, especially for the friends and family that are in Providence. You'll want to hear what this fantastic leader has to talk to us about. Liliana, welcome to the Spotlight Series.
Thank you.
I love your pin as well.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, since you are mentioning the pin, I've been working as an artist, creating art from plants to paper. So everything that I have done involves textiles made out of, in this case, cotton. And I love creating pins, bags, and artwork in general.
And what is your connection to the community libraries?
Well, that's a very interesting question, because when I came to this country 50 years ago and I saw what the libraries were doing here, that you could take books and take them home, and I said, what a fantastic thing, because I grew up in Argentina and we didn't have anything like it. You know, you went to the library at the university and you sat there, but you didn't take books out. So I always was in awe of what the libraries do. But particularly in the last few years, when the community libraries were formed, I am still finding out the different things that they do. Like they have the maker's room and a specialist person who will teach you different technologies. And what I find, from my heart, I find that these communities, these libraries, are doing an extraordinary community work. Anybody can come here, including me, propose a program, and I couldn't believe it. When I came with an idea that comes from artwork that I have done many years ago, and I say, can I propose this? And when they say yes, and then they went to risk, I just couldn't believe it. I said, I have to pinch myself and say, how does this happen? And I am absolutely thrilled at what had happened with this program.
So Liliana, tell us a little bit about, you mentioned RISCA, so Rhode Island State Council of the Arts gave us a grant to put together an art project, and I'm not sure they were expecting everything that you've delivered, which is multiple library branches with multiple librarians with a ton of small kids that are trying to do artwork. Tell us a little bit about how you put that together and what the reception was.
Well, at the very beginning, we have to go back to what was my inspiration. My inspiration was a piece of artwork that I did for the 6th biennial in Mexico, and I sent it over, and what I wrote after working for 4 months doing that piece, the topic was air. And I said to myself, air, how do you make the invisible visible? And the next question that I always said is, when you say a word and you give it to a creative group and you say air, how do you represent it? And I did that with one high school student in one of the libraries, and it was really a great joy for me to see that he will participate in blowing the bubbles, because the older ones said, that's for little kids, not for me. And so I am in awe of what I have learned, also going through every different library and seeing the different population, the different kids. And if it was a program that will go for many weeks, then you can include the conceptual aspects of climate change or environment and air and the physics. But in here I have an opportunity of whoever comes, or however I can communicate with them. So that was very enriching to me. I love the kids, I really do.
And it wasn't just you putting out a worksheet saying, I want you to blow bubbles on paper. I'm hearing from the other librarians that you came out and you read to people, you kind of gave them some instruction, you enriched their lives before they even started with the art project. What's the reception that you received?
Well, it is fascinating to see them, because some of them, when you tell them to blow bubbles, they don't know what they're going to get. So you have to demonstrate to them. And it's really fascinating, even for the grown-ups here in Rochambeau. There were parents with the little kids who says, I never knew that. And because you make the bubbles different colors, and you let them choose the colors of the food coloring, and then they start experimenting. Each group was different, and some of them go overboard, and then you say, you're printing, you're actually printing. And everybody had the same paper, which was a professional watercolor paper, 100% rag, and everybody has done it. And so I can show you, in Rochambeau, this little kid drew on top of the bubbles. And then I put them together and created an accordion book. And that is how it's going to be presented in the opening gallery. But I want to say something that was very dear to my heart. I feel that this is an opportunity for those kids to be in the public eye, to give them a stage. Politicians, people, they complain, the radio, this, that. I want the kids to come and say, wow, that's me. Oh, wow, this is being done on a place like gallery night. And I think that's fantastic, not only for the libraries, but for the kids. So I really hope that the kids have an opportunity to come to the library and show their parents what they've done.
And I think it's a big deal that there's a lot of focus on kids when they're really infants and babies in a year or two. There's a really small timeline, and we talked to a couple of librarians about this, that the parents are still involved, but the kids are really being a little more independent. So what you're doing, from what I'm understanding, is you're really helping that bond of the parents and kids with other kids, versus just coming in for story time and not interacting with the other kids. It's fantastic work to put together. And
yeah, I was absolutely struck by what I saw in different libraries or different situations. Like in Wandscock, she has a rapport with these kids because the school is next to her. And the kids and her had such a rapport that it was phenomenal. And when I gave them the papers, they went and they weren't afraid, and they just experimented with it. And I love it.
Do you see the difference between when you were first making this art project, that you're studying for hours about how you could do this and experimenting, versus a third grader who looks at it and says, oh, I'm all in, poo, poo, poo.
Yeah, they have fun. It's a fun project. Even grown-ups like it. So we will have blowing and printing bubbles during the opening of the exhibit, together with everything else. And my initiative and inspiration, my work will be featured in that night too.
So the master becomes the gallery student as well?
Oh yes, oh yes.
And from what I understand, it's about 100 different works of art in the gallery?
It probably will come to that. I have 3 more libraries to go to, and I hope that there are enough kids.
Yeah. Well, it seems like everybody's having a fantastic time. It seems like RISCA's investment in our future and our children, and not only to keep them entertained, create the bond between the parents, the libraries, the librarians, and to your point, and I think this may have been missed in the original assessment, to showcase that the kids are somebody special as well. They deserve the attention, and you know, they're not doing it for the attention, but I think it's good that they're going to get some and see where it goes from there.
That is my goal, and that's why I am hoping that the kids can come on opening night, because I think that that is a fantastic opportunity.
And tell us about the gallery opening. So when is that and where is it?
That will be on April 18 at the Sprout Gallery, who has volunteered to give us the gallery, which is, I am so thrilled with Shari Weinberger. And that will be again in 166 Valley Street, the Sprout Gallery. And I hope that everybody invited comes.
On April 18th at 5 p.m. and it will extend beyond that to show?
Yes, it will go approximately a month.
Right. And that's not a small ask to have a gallery showing.
Yeah, I am very happy with it. And I thank everybody that participated in this program.
Right. It's fantastic work. I'm so glad that you're bring a piece to show us and what everyone will be able to see, 100 different artists as they've worked through the different years and all the different libraries showcased. I think it'll be a fantastic showing.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.